I'm with Margate manager Ben Greenhalgh after his side's 2-2 draw. Ben, we can see you're frustrated this afternoon. What did you make of your team's performance?
It's not good enough. I think that's the bottom line. We lacked a lot in terms of just the energy. The players that we spoke before the game, pulled a few players, and not just them but other players, that we just said we demand a little bit more, because the stuff that we're trying to put in place isn't happening, because I just don't feel like our energy is quite there. I don't feel like, well, look, maybe they're not 100% and maybe they're wanting to play through it and get through this period and get into the part of the season where they can maybe go Saturday. So we've got to look at that a little bit, but we're not hitting the standards that we set last year, and that's the most frustrating thing. I think there's two ways of looking at this game. Like we said, the officials were miles off it, and it's not just for us. Like, I think they made a few weird decisions for them as well, but just nowhere near the level that there should be for an FA Cup game. And I understand this is an early round of the FA Cup, so I don't know what the qualifications are or anything like that, but for either team, if they're to progress through this round, there's money on the line, and that's a possible FA Cup run for either team. And today it was just the control of the game was a mess, and that is a massively frustrating thing. And as players, it grinds you, and the momentum of the game kills you. Like obviously, look, I'm not saying they don't deserve it. That is not what I'm getting at, because I'm not sure. Well, I know we're nowhere near at our levels, but it comes from Max is in our area. He's in a good position, takes a good shot, blatant deflection off for a corner, he's hit the target. We're all ready to take a corner, they go down the other end and end up scoring in the 90th minute because he's given a goal kick. And look, I'm not saying that's the reason why, for me, without disrespecting Cobham, we are the level above, so the way things should go, we should come here and we should dominate. And there were passages in the game where we did, and we showed a bit more quality, and they were the levels we wanted to hit, but they took it to us as well. They did. At 1-1, that they didn't give up. They kept pushing as well, so it became a bit too much of an open game for my liking. And look, maybe it was because there were a few yellows dished out that shouldn't have been dished out, and players are having to do or not tackle at certain areas. But the standards need to be set, and I think that was an opportunity today to act 2-1 up, to win the game of football and kickstart our season a little bit, because we know it's going to take a win like that. It happened. We were just saying in there, it happened last year. We started reasonably well the way we played, but we couldn't get results, and it took us to the 94th minute against Deal to really kick-start our season, and that could have been it. I said in there, performances weren't great, but you're 2-1 up away in the FA Cup. You've got to see the game out, and we've let a man spare in our area, which don't want to pick up players, but in a harsh reality, those sort of moments are slightly unforgivable at this stage, because of what it means to the club, what it means to the fans.
And you mentioned there about this potentially kick-starting our season. How much do you think that 90th minute goal could knock us back now? Obviously, I know it sounds dramatic, but having had victory within touching distance, to now have to have a replay on Tuesday, there must be a real sort of setback in that changing room.
I'm not sure it's a setback, because it's a realisation. I don't want to cover up over cracks. I think if we won the game 2-1 today, we would know in there we'd probably be even more critical, because certain players aren't hitting the standards that they hit last year. So it would be a little bit sort of covering cracks at that stage. So I think maybe we needed that. Maybe we needed that sort of position to go, you know what, we deserve to work harder, we deserve to go again, and deserve to earn our way through the FA Cup, because I don't believe we earned it today. So it's frustrating, because, like we said, the Jersey game we half accepted, because it was a first game, it was a hot day, we didn't know what to expect. They sat off more than we imagined, and we didn't get any rhythm going. The Sittingbourne game was one of the ugliest games of football ever, and we sort of knew it would be, but did we show what we wanted to show? Probably not. And then today, I think there were elements, but we still need more. We still need that for us. I mean, it's hard to say, because we've had 2 disallowed goals. We've had plenty of opportunities at 2-1 up that we have missed. We've had opportunities at 1-0 up where it's goalmouth scramble. So it could have been a different game, but for me, it's still not enough. Still not enough for the standards we've set, and we demand more. I think the fans saw the game today. They saw we worked hard, but not good enough, in my opinion. And I think everybody in the club can demand that bit extra, because of the standards we set last year.
And now going forward, it means we have to replay Tuesday at Hartstown Park. Not only is it an extra game that you necessarily wouldn't have wanted, but it now means Tuesday, Friday and Bank Holiday Monday. You spoke about the players wanting to go Saturday to Saturday, just to give them time to get their fitness right. How difficult now does that make your next 7 days?
It's going to be difficult, but I think we deserve it. I think we deserve that extra game. That was one thing that hit me on the final whistle a little bit. Whereas I think it wouldn't have been just to the levels that we should set if we'd have gone through and then had a rest on Tuesday. So I'm happy with the fact that, obviously not happy that we're having a replay, but I'm happy with the fact that we need to do more, and that's a bit of a realisation in there that we need to demand more. Our fitness levels were very good, and like I said, we spoke sort of after the Dover game, pulling players off, and maybe players aren't quite 100%, and we are maybe having to manage that, and it's difficult because you want to build on things, we work on things on Thursday, and we saw it at moments today, but just nowhere near enough. And so maybe Tuesday will be the right thing to say, look, got to go again, boys. You've got to work really hard, and we get to see who we're going to draw on the Monday, which is always something. There is the cliche saying that you're still in the hat, it's still in the FA Cup. So there's those elements that obviously aren't the end of the world, but it's something where we need to demand more out of ourselves. So I'm glad we're having to do that on Tuesday.
And just finally, that point actually, is that one of the very few positives to take away from this afternoon, is that we're still in Monday's draw and we've still got a game to go Tuesday now to progress to the next round. Yeah, look, it's hard to look at it positively, because in terms of the league campaign at the moment, which is very hard to do, because we know it could be one more league game in the next month. It's depending on how the FA Cup and how the FA trophies go. So it's very difficult to focus too much on that. But I think with the FA Cup and the FA Trophy, we know what we want as a club, and we are still in the hat, and we do get to look at Monday and see what the draw is. But I just think as players, we know we're nowhere near at it, and I think people from the outside need to understand that. And look, there's another way. We need to stick together. We know what we're capable of, and we need to get back to that, and we're going to keep demanding that. We're going to do everything we can as a management team to try and hit those levels and show everyone. And I feel like we did that before the game today, and there was elements of it. Like, if TT was brilliant today, got the assists, got the goal, but we wanted the ball out wider more. We wanted more of those opportunities, and we just didn't create that enough. So let's go Tuesday. Let's stick together. The positive for the fans are they get to see a game at home, which we thought wasn't going to happen for about 6 games. So I'm glad that we get to go down to Hartstone Park and see the usual faces, and let's just all somehow remain positive about it, and we keep kicking on, because like I said, something's going to ignite the season, and hopefully this is it. That's brilliant. Thanks for your time.
Cheers,
Unlucky
Ryan.
today. Cheers,
Thank you.